Hi, it is iYikkam time again. So last night, a close Wing Chun friend messaged me and discussed with me on the story of the king of Wing Chun, and the Pope of Wing Chun is actually Leong Yi Tai, get it from some other style instead of a Wing Chun style. And so today I'd like to share with you what I share with him. Okay? Again, over here, I want to say that I respect all the grandmasters in the past. I respect all the Wing Chun ancestors disregard of the lineage in the past. But I'm going to discuss in terms of scientific and rational. Okay? So it has to be reasonable and scientific and technical. Okay, so let's start. Number one, there are three types of people these days. Actually, not only these days. It has been about 100 years in Chinese martial arts community. The first type is the storyteller, okay, where there's a whole bunch of stories, like you heard about this, the burning of Shaolin, Feng Sai Yok, and all Ji Sim Bak Mei, all those stories, okay. Or they have this Qi and people flying around, those type of story, okay. Those are story lover, okay. And there are a lot of people in the Chinese martial art community is like that. Okay. The second is the philosopher. We'll talk about Tai Chi. This doesn't mean that Tai Chi Quan, Tai Chi in the Chinese philosophy, Tao, Zen, and using mind power. Okay. So this is the second type. And the third type is the technicians. Okay, who deal with martial arts, or in other words, in the more precise term, is the martial technology. This is like people like a General Guan. Okay, he is a good representation of the martial art technologies. Okay, so there are these three types of people in the Chinese martial art community. Okay, it is not even just a limit to Wing Chun. It's on almost every style. Okay, and every style will have their stories and so forth. Okay, now, so we need to know what is the significance on all this story and all this philosophy. Well, if we want to know the Chinese martial technology, look at Qi Guang and Sun Tzu. In the 13th chapter of the Sun Tzu, the 13th, okay, chapter 13 of the Sun Tzu, it said that you don't get informations from spirit, speculations, but you get informations from your enemy directly. You have to be able to screen him. Okay? So Sun Tzu is more than 1,000 years ago, and that's how the Chinese think. Okay, the technology. Sun Tzu is a technologist too. Otherwise, he cannot make war. Okay? Same with the Qi Guang. It doesn't tell you about Tao and all this kind of stuff. Okay? But he fought the Japanese pirate and other armies. Okay? So if one really to investigate Wing Chun, one need to know what is the sharing is about. Is from a storyteller, a story, who the people who love story, or the philosopher, or the technologist. Otherwise, it is a disaster, because storyteller is very unlikely to solve problem. philosopher too. They have a lot of ideas, good ideas, but they are not going to solve the technical issue. Okay, so that's number one I want to share with everybody. Number two, this king of Wing Chun stuff. Okay, let me tell you one thing about the ancient story of this king, that king of Kung Fu. If you go to every village, there is a king of Kung Fu. I'm from the iYikkam lineage. If you talk to the people who is the fan of iYikkam, then iYikkam is the king of Wing Chun. Okay? Same thing. If you talk to people who are fan of Leong Zhan, then Leong Zhan is the king of Kung Fu. You go to all the Chinese martial art, everyone have their king of Kung Fu in every villages. Okay? Their village or their city is not only the canton, the whole canton yet, okay? And not fully the southern China yet, not fully the southern and the western China yet, which is including Yunnan, and not the entire China. It is a story from a village. And today, this world is not only just China. That's so huge here, international. And we are looking at interplanetary, okay? So we need to know the story from a village. Are you serious to take it serious and tell everybody this is the truth of the Wing Chun? Okay? Like a few video or YouTube ago, I'm talking about people is questioning Leong Zhan pass his art to the Zhan Hua Sun. Is Zhan Hua Sun learn everything, and then you have other people learn everything, those kind of stuff. Now, you want to serious? You want to be serious to discuss this technically? Okay, that's a different thing. As for the story, you can go search the web and you can see people in other style from the Red Book is claiming that they defeat Leong Zhan also. Okay? So there's no end of this thing. This is story. But if you want to look at real technical thing, very simple. For all this 100 years of story, just ask the questions. Everybody talk about sticking body short strike, 埋山拳打. Okay? How come Yun Kui San is the closest to 埋山拳打and the rest is not close at all, but long fist? Okay? Disregard iYikkam or Leong Zhan or anybody, just look at it. How come is Yun Kui San with the Sang Nam, that group of people is doing or having a signature which is closer to sticking body short strike compared with the rest? Why? There is technical signature there. Why is Grandmaster Yip-Man is in his interview showing the signature of sticking body short strike? Okay, so technically we know, oh, Grandmaster Yip-Man, Grandmaster Yun Kui San, those old-timers, they know what Wing Chun is. And as for all the story, let me tell you one thing. There are peer pressure at Grandmaster Yip-Man time or Yun Kui San time. It is not like us today. We can go set it straight, or this is that, no, what is what. Everybody have to give face to the ancestor, give face to everybody. Okay? So you can see the Chinese martial artists, whenever they do something good, they always say, oh, it's from my Sizhou. They won't take credit for themselves. Is that good? Yes, that's good because that's humble. Is that bad? Yes, this is bad. Because now the guy who actually need to have the credit don't get the credit, and one doesn't know the facts of the technical. Okay? You look at Wing Chun in the past 60 years. Okay? You can see that who put Qigong inside to the Yikkam lineage. Okay? So all of this is about technical. I can also tell you, there are arguments about my late Sifu Cho Hong Choi is doing Choi Lei Fat, not Wing Chun after he passed away. But look at the signature. The entire Penang, Malaysia at his time who fight him know that he is close body, really close. Ask my Si Heng, they are still alive. Okay? Is that Choi Lei Fat? No, they're sticking body short strike. Okay? So all this story, everybody can develop whatever story they want. But when you look into technical, you know there's a signature or there's not signature. And we need to know that people in that time of China, they cannot say anything they say. You know, they are not free because their peer pressure, their village, their lineage, whole bunch of stuff. They cannot say, oh, my Sifu doesn't know this. I learned this from this guy. Today I can tell you, oh, I don't know this Zhuang stuff. I go check with Zhou Qianchuan. Before it's a sin. Oh, I don't know this iYikkam stuff. I'm not sure if my Sifu taught me properly. So I check with the Zhou Qianchuan stuff, writing, Ma Li Tang, and so forth, so forth. They cannot say that because they have their custom, they have their traditions. Okay? So we do not want to get into those stuff, those stories, who teach who, and often we make an assumption, a deadly assumption. Okay? A seriously deadly assumption. For example, can we assume that Yikkam know all of these things? Usually you will say, oh yeah, the Yikkam know everything. Okay? He's perfect. Same with Liang Zhan, he know everything. Now ask the question, what if they don't know what we think they know? But people don't question that. People thinking the ancient, the ancestor, they know it all. Now, it's good that to respect the ancestor. I respect Yikkam, I respect Liang Zhan, but what is the fact? Look at the signature. Why is I'm saying today that Yikkam teaching is closer to the stick body short strike, and other people is farther away, and most is doing a long fist? That's technical. Okay? And I can learn from that because what I'm concerned is to learn Wing Chun. I'm not concerned about I have to defend whatever it is not there but face. Okay? And at the end screw the whole entire Wing Chun. So that's my view of this king of a thing. Look at the Qing history, the Taiping uprising history at the Liman Mao time. See what is real. Okay? So it is not knowledgeable about keep reciting all this king of Wing Chun, Yikkam, king of Wing Chun, Liang Zhan, or king of Wing Chun, whoever else. Or who have the transmission, who don't have the transmission. Grandmaster Yipman do not have the thing, he took it from other stuff. Stop that. That's why what I have already shared the other day. Grandmaster Yipman put in black and white in his interview what he knows, his attainment. Grandmaster Yikkam shows what he have. Look at Grandmaster Sang Nang and so forth to practice. Okay? Sticking body short strike. So, if we want to solve technical questions, technical problem, go to the technical signature and isolate from all these stories about who is king. It doesn't solve anything. It doesn't create problem. And as what I mentioned, a king of a village doesn't mean the king of the full canton. The king of the full canton in Wing Chun doesn't mean that it is the king of the canton and the western and the southern China. It doesn't mean that it is the full China. It doesn't mean that internationally. Okay? A village is just a village, and often the village point of view is really, really narrow. Okay? So I want to leave it with you guys. That's why I like people to have educations. We can respect people who are storyteller, philosopher, because everybody have their place. But when you're going down to the bottom line, this is Wing Chun is a martial arts. Get down to the bottom line. Otherwise, it is a kiss of death. It's a big disaster. Okay? We cannot have storyteller become the grandmaster. They can be grandmaster of storyteller, but not Wing Chun. Okay? So, another thing from the conversation yesterday, last night with the friend, is the pole come out. And people keeping saying that the pole of Wing Chun is what Liang Yitai took from somebody in the Red Book and so forth. Okay? Well, the first question said, can you tell me whoever have a study with Liang Yitai, who have a time machine go back there study with Liang Yitai, who know Wong Wah Po, and if they know Wong Wah Po and Liang Yitai, how come today what they do is still long fist, not sticking body short strike? Ask the question, why is that for this past 100 years, almost everybody is doing long fist and keeping saying, oh, this is from King of Wing Chun, iYikkam, this is King of Wing Chun, Liang Zhan, and all King of Wing Chun. While Grandmaster Yin Pei San and Grandmaster Yip Man had put down the facts there quietly. Okay? So, the pole. Let me show you the pole today. The 6-point half pole from the Red Book. Okay, passed down with the writing. Okay, there's a lot of things, but today I like to show this to you so that you see it. We Wing Chun do not need to take from other people. Okay, we have our pole. Okay, as any Wing Chuner, we need to champion our style. We cannot just go keeping speculating stories. Okay, and many who speculate pole doesn't even understand pole. So, due to the range here, the wall here, I use this shorter pole for the pole to show you. Okay. The first thing on pole, I see in YouTube, not only YouTube, on the forum, Wing Chun forum, somebody posting posture like that and saying that this is a defense of a pole, where the body scattering around. Okay, they just show that one doesn't even have the basic of the pole. Okay, I want to do a clarification here. I am not good at pole. I don't even have 5% of the pole of my my Sifu Chu Hong Choi, because my interest is not that in the weapons, but the basic. At least I know the kindergarten stuff. Okay. The first thing on pole practice is that the body has to be lined up, integrate. You notice my hand is here. You notice that it is very close to the what we call the Wing Chun mechanics, because we need to use the body, not like this. If you put your hand like that, you're going to get take out your hand here. Okay, so it's close to the body here. So you have the mechanics, and also you don't get into here that become a target of your opponent. So this is this. Okay, and this has to align because the opponent is using weapons. We need to be aligned, not scattering around. This is movie, okay? This is real deal. Okay? Really sharp, focus. And in the 6-point half pole of the iYikkam, we use left hand pole. This is left hand pole. The saying is 左手棍長一尺. Left hand pole have a 1 feet longer advantages. That's what he said. 左手棍長一尺. And notice, this arm, hand, is not putting here, but here, about a feet away. That has its purpose. Okay? So this is the central or the stable, okay, posture or pull. People need to practice this. Okay? That is the first point. Stand there and get the whole body integrate like when you play martial arts. Your body has to be integrated up, down, sideways, and so forth. Okay? Mechanics and so forth. The second one need to know is the outside circle. Okay, the inside circle and the outside circle. That is the basic of the whole fight. The outside circle, the inside circle and the outside circle. Okay, one need to know this circle, two circle. Second thing, that's why one need to practice this. Okay, the third thing, one need to know the life door. 生門死門. The life door is like this. If you face me this way, whatever the change, I can change. I can change. Okay? I can manual attack and counter attack. That's life door. 生門. 死門 is, if you look at me, you are here, it's too late for me to manual. Or I can brute force like this, but still, okay? If it's target to me, this is my 死門. So one need to know this and practice this basic. Okay? The central position, the ready position, okay, or the alert position, the circle, the inward circle, the outward circle, because there's a play there. And then the live gate, living gate, and the dead gate. You need to know that. That is the basic. Okay? One don't scattering around like some kinds of acrobat or choreography in the movie. Okay? Because weapon, you talk about life and death there. Okay? It's not movie. It's not, people like to say, oh, Wing Chun's from from the Red Bull Opera. Sure, Wing Chun's from Red Bull Opera, but it's a martial technology. It's not about the acting in the Red Bull Opera. This is acting. This is real deal. Okay? They are different. Now, so today I'd like to show you the 6-point half pole of Wing Chun at that time. So you see, it is not about any move. This is about 6 types of momentum with a hidden 1 point. Okay? So this is the first point. Okay? This is the second point. This is the third point. This is the fourth point. This is the fifth point. This is the 6 point and half point. That is the 6.5. But this is not just a posture. For example, the third point. Okay? The third point is this one. Okay? And the fourth point is this one. Okay? So the fourth point, you look at that, it might be, oh, I just spear. No, it is not. The quick say, 回身转意，归心止. What does it mean? I change my mind. I turn back, pointing at the shoulder, at the chest. 回心转意，归心止. I change my mind. I turn back. I'm targeting the chest. So what does that mean? Even though it is like this. Okay? Or people can say this is one Kuen or this is one Kuen. No, it is a momentum. So what is the momentum works? For example, you are really strong and really fast. And I am weak. So guess what? At the engage, I run away. I step one step back with the angle. Okay? You chase around me. I come back with a shot here. That is called 回心转意归心止, or it's called 回马枪 in the spear. Return horse spear, meaning that when you fight, you get your horse to run back, run away, and the guy chasing you, you come back, turning back and shoot him. And actually, it's not that you shoot him, you actually using his momentum to crush in your pole by himself. So that is the fourth point. Okay? So this is not just, oh yeah, you know, I know this move. This is a spear move. Okay, this is this move. This is a spear move. Okay, it's very simple. You say this, okay, you can keep doing this, but if you don't understand the momentum, there's a momentum play, and the Lan Sao have another play. Okay, one doesn't know what it is. So this is the Wing Chun 6.5 pole. Wing Chun 6.5 pole is not 6.5 posture or 6.5 move like a Tan Sao or Tan Kuen. It's not that. It's momentum play. Okay, and so the half point. So what is the half point about? The half point have to do this reserve. Okay? So usually, like I do a Lan Kuen, this is no end. I have another reserve. This is half point. So it is like in the Wing Chun, we do the Zham Sao. After Zham Sao, this is the half point. This half point is depending on whether I want to shoot it or not, but it always reserved there. That's why in the pole quick, it said 半点子午定太平, half point of the center point settle the Taiping. Half point of the center pole settle the Taiping. It means this. In Wing Chun pole and Wing Chun techniques, always there's a reserve. So when people think it is over, no, that is still half point. That is Wing Chun pole, 6.5 pole, according to the iYikkam lineage from the red book. That's why it said 半点玄机在其中. Half point have a hidden. Half point is a hidden. There's a hidden. There's a hidden action. Half point. 玄机 meaning that there's a hidden secret. Okay. Half point. So half point is a hidden secret. It is this point. So you think about it. It is like after I Zham Sao, this thing, this neck there. Same thing is the pole. Okay. Now. You see all this already, the 6.5 point. Okay? Now, I'm sure if Wong Wah Po, Liang Yi Tai, they really exist, whatever their real name, they will be 100 times better than me in this pole stuff. Well, I don't even have 5% of my seafood Chong Choi's pole, where they use a real thing. So how did Grandmaster Chong Choi practice his pole? They don't use pole. They use what? The water pipe, the iron, what do you call it, the metal water pipe. Put cement, concrete inside there, so the pole is really heavy. And when they pull the pole, they stroke the pole, you can see all this thing get really built up. Okay, couldn't even touch. One snap is gone because of the use to that, the way how to use the mechanics. Okay, so it's not just like, oh, I learned this step, I learned this move, and I know pole. What I tell you, this is kindergarten. Okay. So that is what it is. If we want to go technology path, that is what it is. And that's why recently, first, I share with everybody, Wing Chun is a sticking body short strike. That's why we are short bridge, narrow stance, agile, close in. Okay, so sticking body short strike will have receive, close in. Okay? And then the Wing Chun mechanics, the mechanical advantage and the torque. And then the slightly outward toe to get the whole body agile. Okay? Otherwise, we cannot do sticking body short strike because we need footwork to enter. If we don't have footwork, we cannot play. It's a momentum play, need the footwork. Okay? And this toe have a lot of significance there. The first is it has to be able to handle the knee up and down, rotation. If you put this straight or like this, as soon as this is a jam up here, this area, okay, go test it up, this area, you compromise your center axis because there's overcompensate already. It's hold on there already. Okay, so it has to be able to do the center axis. But if you have any kinds of break or tension or hold here, or holding on here, you compromise the center axis already. You have to use other force to neutralize that. Okay, so that's why this is very important. And then the breathing. Okay, if you stretch this way, your breathing is not going to come down. Then your forceful, your chi flow, everything come down. That's the platform. And that's how one develop the right hand body, like Grandmaster Yimang said. That's how one need to practice the Shurian Tao Chang Kyu, so that that set become alive. And if one want to get even deeper, then one need to get the 6-13-3. Okay? That's why I lay out the whole thing for you. Otherwise, if I don't collect all this thing from so many people, how can we find this out? Is there a single lineage? No. So, when I wrote this book, whatever I need to know for kindergarten is there. Okay? And the other book, the yellow book, the basic art and science, the 6-13-3, which is one layer inside, in depth. All these are basic stuff. Okay? So, finally, I like to share with everybody. Let's be pragmatic. Like, I think the quote is from the Martin Luther King Jr. He said that if we cannot fly, we run. If we cannot run, we walk. If we cannot walk, we crawl. But no matter what we do, we need to proceed, progress. We cannot stuck in the history or keep making stories and keep assume this, assume that. And people don't even know what is sticking body short strike, what is the pole looks like, but story keeping pumping. Okay? What good is that for Wing Chun Kuen? What good is that for the next generations? What good is for ourselves? Sure, if you are a story lover, philosophy lover, that's fine. But if it is a Wing Chun technology, it's a different story. Okay? So I shared with my friend last night on this until very late. So I share with you guys today. Okay? Again, I'm nobody. I'm just, as the Martin Luther King Jr. said, I don't know how to walk, so I crawl. I show you what I'm crawling. This is what it is. But I'm not sitting down there daydreaming about past, the king of Wing Chun. Okay? Or Ngoi, or Jisim, or whoever create the Wing Chun, or in Wing Chun, okay, or somebody can fly or something like that. I don't do that. Because I like to be a technician. However, if you like to go with all the story, that's fine with me. Okay? So this is to share with you today.